It is the club. It is the eve before Christmas Eve in the bunker, and a lot of excitement, mainly due to the fact that we are the champions of the world, Liverpool Football Club. Yep, it's been a great weekend, and look, we've got some games to look forward to. So we'll look back to the games in Qatar. We'll look forward to the 3 league games. I know Gav spoke last night on the Fatback 4 Hourly about the about the importance of these games. But in tonight we have got Gav. How are you doing, Gav?
I'm very good.
Yeah, good. Looking forward to Christmas. So a lot of excitement. You've got a little girl, another one on the way. A lot of excitement in the household.
Yeah, amazing. Yeah, I can't get over the chat we were having before about the Everton song.
We'll come on to that.
Yeah.
We'll have a little bit of fun. Keith?
Are you right?
Yeah, you all right?
Yeah, good. And yourself?
Yeah, good. Good to have you back. And Barry, good to have you back. How are you doing?
All good, right? Cheers.
Yeah, good. And we've got Gar. How are you doing, Gar?
Right.
Yeah, back on mute mode as usual. Right, okay, so...
Is he on mute?
Are you on mute tonight? Yeah, okay, fair enough. You'll chip in as necessary, yeah? Okay, so look, we'll look back first of all to the weekend that was. I think every Liverpool fan, despite how they felt before going out to Qatar and competing in that World Club Cup, despite how they felt before, they feel great now. Barry, how did you feel Saturday night? Did it mean much as that game went on and it got to the decision at the end and into extra time? How invested did you become?
But definitely, well, I really wanted to win that cup from the start.
Okay.
But I think during the game, for me, I found it to be a pretty tough watch. It was like, I don't know what it was. It was just very frustrating watching the team go through. I wouldn't say it was a boring game, but it was just very frustrating. And obviously the Flamengo tactics and the way they were playing kind of added to that.
Yeah.
But yeah, when it got into extra, obviously the referee was an absolute disgrace, and that didn't help things either. But I think, yeah, it went on. If I had gone into penalties, I didn't want it to go to penalties, so I was happy to see Firmino get that winner in extra time anyway. But it did look like it was going to go to penalties at one stage. But yeah, when we won it, I was obviously delighted that we got that cup.
Keith, obviously the first game, we were a little bit surprised that it was as tough as it was. Were you expecting that kind of challenge that Flamengo presented ultimately?
Yeah, well, I think Flamengo was always going to be a tough challenge. I think Monterrey was, we might have underestimated Monterrey a bit as well. Mexican champions aren't a bad team either, and it was always going to be tough. You can go over to that World Club Cup and you can draw, a Saudi Arabian team, an Australian team, and it might be an easier route, one of the African teams. But if you're getting the Mexicans and then the champions of South America, it's going to be tough games. You know what the antics are going to be like. They're going to be rolling around. They're going to be play acting. They're going to be trying to wind you up at every opportunity. But we stood up to it and, we came through.
Yeah, I mean, I thought... In my mind, I thought we were going to get like a really easy ride in the semi-final. I thought we were getting like Al Hilal, who Flamengo ended up getting. I'm not quite sure how that worked out, but we ended up obviously getting the tougher assignment against Monterrey. And you've seen at the end there, Monterrey obviously won the third place playoff, and they were there with their bronze medals, and they were absolutely ecstatic at the bronze medals. So it just showed you whatever we thought, what other parts of the world think of that competition. And Flamengo were gutted, the amount of fans that they had out there.
Yeah, the fans crying in the crowd and all at the end.
Yeah, it was a big deal to them, I think they would have had a hero's welcome had they have gone back with that trophy.
Definitely, yeah.
So just on the subject of trophies, yeah, obviously Jordan Henderson, he's absolutely perfected that lift now, hasn't he? Like we all we all knew what was coming, but it's not getting old hats for me. I'm enjoying every minute of watching it. What about you, Barry?
Yeah, you can, as long, I don't care how he lifts the trophy, as long as he just keeps lifting those trophies. Like that's 3 for him now in 2019, and he could. If you can bring the league back as well now, if he's doing that in May, I don't care what way he lifts the trophy, as long as he lifts it, like so.
Yeah.
But I think obviously he's obviously got a lot of stick over his Liverpool career, Henderson, but I think he's giving it back to people now. He's after lifting 3 trophies there in this year anyway. So, it was good to see him lift another one on Saturday.
Yeah, and Keith, I mean, for some reason, like, I don't know, it's the size of the Premier League trophy or whatever. I've never seen a Premier League trophy being lifted in that way. Do you think he sticks with that lift?
Oh, that's his lift, 100%. That's the way that's getting lifted up. So, it's not going to be any different, when he comes to lift that in February or whenever we have that league wrapped up, boy. So, look forward to it. I think it's the thing. There was a little shake, and my uncle is only 5, and he was looking at it with me the other day, and he said it to me. He goes, "Is he going to do his little shake when he lifts that cup?" I said, "Yeah, he is, son. He is." And he done it, and he made the balls of it. He only did it with one hand, but he got onto it then, and then he grabbed it with the second one. But look, he can do it, as Barry said. If he does it another 20 times, he'll never get bored of looking at that. So more of it.
And Gav, would you be all for us just grabbing that Premier League trophy in February when we wrap it up and just lifting it?
In February we'd probably be cold, so we probably want to shake a little bit, warm myself up. But February, listen, I'm optimistic, but February I think is a bit much, Keith, to be honest with you. Look, I don't, like, people say it's a Henderson thing, he does this shuffle. I think it's a team thing. I'd say, I wouldn't say Henderson going, right lads, we won, I'm going to do that. I'd say the team are going, let's just keep doing the same thing when we win. And if we end up with a big, we have a screen with 9 of them on it, and there's 9 different trophy lifts or whatever it is, and they're all the same, it looks brilliant. But listen, I don't care what he can pick it up and fuck it into the cop for all I genuinely don't give a bollocks what he does.
Maybe by the 9th we'll get like a fan choice.
Look, if you win the league title, I don't know what way it works, right? So, and I don't
as well. I'm struggling with it.
So, if we were to win it, for argument's sake, I think our last home league game is Chelsea. Okay.
Second to last game.
So say for argument's sake we win it on our 3rd last game, which I don't think we will. I think we will win it before that.
Okay.
But if we win it on our 3rd last game, we're not going to be given the trophy then.
No.
We'll more than likely be giving it at Chelsea at home. It's usually our last home game.
Is it?
Yes.
But they won't take it to Newcastle and do that whole last... No. It's your last home game, is it?
No, I think it'll be the last home game.
Okay.
So, but if like Keith said, you were to just storm through this and have it won, say for argument's sake you won it, people were mentioning City away on April the 4th.
Yeah.
So say for
and then
argument's sake,
Villa the week after at home.
I don't think they give it to you then. I think you do have... It's the last home game you give it to you. Unless, of course, you win on the last day away from home.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So if they try to give it to you at your last home game, if he was to just pick that up, go, yes, and I don't know, just fling it.
Just launch it.
It doesn't matter. Once it goes down, the title number 19 is
just throw it straight to Linda.
Yeah, they can just do what they want. She can melt it down, get Bitcoin for it, buy a new yacht, and like, who gives a bollocks? Like, you get a replica anyway. Should Man City throw it off a building?
Yeah, well, allegedly.
You know what I mean? So, no, whatever he wants to do, but I think it's a team thing. I think it's the bond in the team is brilliant, and that's probably just another element of it.
And then you see the photos of them on the beach the next day, and like the thing for me, more so about winning or losing that final, is what it brings now in terms of team spirit back for the Christmas period, because that's tough. Leicester, the 2 home games, then you're into FA Cup, and if they'd have come back and lost that, it might have taken a certain edge away.
Yeah, definitely.
Do you think so, Barry? Do you think that was almost as important in itself?
Yeah, I think, if they had lost that after, going all the way over there, playing 2 games, that was a hard game, going into extra time. They could have been down coming back to play this game against Leicester. Instead, they put another trophy or won another trophy.
Yeah.
The confidence is going to be high. You can see the videos after in the dressing room, they're all jumping around. Like, the spirit is definitely very high. It was anyway before that, but it has to be even more now. So this is probably the hardest, well, after the City game, the biggest league game we've had this season.
Yeah.
So you want to be going into that, with a trophy, another trophy. The confidence is high, so let's hope that gets us the win. And hopefully we'll get the win now after that.
Yeah. So, Keith, who do you think would be the most sick watching us win that, City or United fans at the weekend?
All of them. Everton, Spurs, Chelsea, Sky.
I think you have a point.
Everybody. It's the thing about winning that is it's another thing to knock off the list that all the detractors have said. From the start of the season, right, our squad is too small. It hasn't affected us yet. When injuries hit us, we're fucked. Hasn't affected us yet.
Yeah.
Busy schedule will affect them. Hasn't affected us yet.
Yeah.
That World Club Cup will impact them. Hasn't impacted them.
VAR was going to fold the club.
Every single thing that was going to trip us up this year, we're coming through. And now we're talking, we've won that World Club Cup and we're back. We've we spoke about it last night, 3 tricky enough games coming up. I can't see us not just getting past them 3 games again and we'll be talking about the next hurdle. And then it'll be, the Champions League games coming up.
Yeah.
Well, like I said, I'm a romantic. I think we win the league by Valentine's Day. And anyway, so the Champions League will look after itself.
So, Gav, you mentioned Varda is going to finish us and all that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
Now, I know last night you didn't want to, you sidestepped the whole VAR decision in that game. And to be honest with you, that's the only thing I really wanted to talk about the game itself, because, it wasn't, there was plenty of chances created and there was a lot of, as Barry was saying, certain tactics employed by Flamingo and people going down. But for me, that VAR situation was like, it was just another example of you just don't know what's coming next, do you, when it goes to VAR. You even have the dynamic of the TV screen, which we don't have in the Premier League.
Which makes it worse.
Do you think so? Yeah.
Well, no, not the whole...
The fact that he went and looked at it.
Listen.
Depends on the cabbage looking at.
I think Stevie Wonder was looking at VAR. He must have been doing the half-time gig or something, I don't know. But listen, Mane goes through, right, and we were talking about this on the pod last night, and he gets taken out, right? There's contact there, so the only question
it was desperate. It was a real desperate. It was let's remember, it was last minute.
Yeah.
It was real desperate stuff. He was willing to concede the penalty and roll the dice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or possibly a free and take a red and see what happens.
Yeah.
And hope that his team get through extra time and, get the penalties or something like that. But if you watch it back, like, I've watched it back, but I haven't watched it back where, because you've won, you don't, like, who cares? But, like, at the time in the game, I was like, I can't believe this is happening. And then we win it, and it's great that we've won it. And I'm kind of going, yeah, great, we've won it, put it aside. That's my attitude now, get that aside. And if the FA Cup rolls on, the Champions League, great, let them roll on. There's only one mission here,
of course,
and that's it. But watching it back, he goes through, right? He's tackled.
Yeah.
Well, he's not tackled, he's taken out. Your man's nowhere near the ball. Now, there is contact, there's definite contact. It's either a penalty, as we were saying last night, it's either a penalty and a yellow.
Yeah.
Because you can't double punish, I think.
Apparently not.
Like that, right?
Yeah.
Although the sports
double jeopardy or whatever.
Fucking attempted more than and we get to him later.
Oh, that was
but it's either, from my reading of it, it's either a free kick and a red or a penalty and a yellow.
Yeah.
Right. So, he sees it. Now, in the first instance, the ref's probably going, did he make contact? Did he get the ball? He's probably not 100% sure, which is absolutely fine. They send it to VAR.
Yeah.
Right? And VAR look at it. Now, how VAR have said to him after 40, 50, 60 seconds, oh, well, I'm not actually too sure myself, watching at all these angles.
Yeah.
Give it back to him. For him to look at the screen and go, I dropped the ball there. It's grand. Like, that is outrageous.
Yeah.
And I can't really blame the VAR in the Premier League, because I know VAR is different from country to country. I learned that last week. There's different versions of it. But it's just another thing where it's a farce. And like Andy keeps saying to me, like, it's only VAR Mark 1 and it'll get better and all. And that's complete utter bollocks. It simply is that. Like, everybody watching, I'm sure United fans watching, City fans, Everton, or anyone, fans from all over the world are looking at that going, he'd be lucky if he gets the free and the red here, rather than and a yellow in the last minute.
It was really close when they kept concentrating on that angle, which was, side on angle to see if it was just inside the box, just outside the box. What the BBC were saying on the commentary was that basically the decision was, or the reason why the ref was going to look at it was purely based on whether it was in or outside. There didn't seem to be any discussion around was the contact, but then he spends a massive amount of time looking at it, like it's flicking back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, and then he just seems to completely, it's almost like he said, I can't fucking make my mind up whether it's in or out. I'm just going to say it was nothing.
I'm hoping that you stand and look at that screen going, I'm not even a referee. And I don't know what the fuck's going on here.
That's exactly
why am I running around this pitch and having to watch the game at the same time? Fuck it, just play on.
Yeah.
Play on. I'm going to blow this up anyway in a minute.
Yeah, it's extra
and
time.
Get extra time. People will forget half an hour, sure. You forget about it.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And
that's the way it panned out.
Absolutely mental.
Yeah, that's the way it panned out, really. So look, VAR, it could have, it could have really bit us in the arse there on that one, but thankfully it didn't. And we come back, another trophy, and obviously simultaneously going on, which was a bit weird in itself. Now I heard you had 2 screens going, Gav. I didn't go that far myself. I was just tracking it on an app. But basically, Leicester initially go 1-up and they're beaten 3-1 by City. I couldn't make my mind up all the way through that, which was the best outcome of the 3 outcomes, really. Where were you, Keith?
I would have loved a draw.
Yeah.
I'd never seen anything other than the City win there.
Me neither.
Especially the fact it was at the Etihad. I thought, no, there's no way Leicester again. And to be honest, the fact Leicester lost is grand. Because if Leicester had won that, and then we go in and play them, and they're only, what would they have been, 8 behind us?
They'd have been
7.
They could have got the gap, really.
They would have got it down by another 3, and then with playing us, they could have shaved another 3. Would have put a bit of pressure on, and that's what the media want. That's what Sky want.
Yeah.
Broke Sky's hearts when we come back from that tournament and we're still a double-digit lead. Absolutely kills them.
Yeah,
because they want to make something out of this whole title run. Something that's at the moment isn't there.
No,
it's not there.
It's non-existent. So had they have won, they'd have got the lead down to 7, and then beat us, it'd have been 4.
Yeah,
albeit
and that's
we'd
what
have
they're
had
saying.
A game in hand. But 4's
it'll put the pressure on Liverpool a bottle. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
If they don't watch this Liverpool team, if they think they're bottling it, you know?
Yeah.
Don't know what evidence they have of that.
Yeah,
those days are gone.
Yeah, I mean, look, it is Leicester next for us, Barry. This could go one of 2 ways, really, couldn't it? I mean, we could be really flat, and we could, the legs could be really affected by that trip, or we could just be absolutely buzzing and just win that on a combination of adrenaline and knowing we're the best.
Yeah.
Where would you land on that?
It's hard to say, isn't it? Like, because
King Power,
yeah,
Boxing
o'clock
Day, Stevens Day, whichever
off.
way you look at it.
And they're obviously, they're going to want to bounce back after that defeat, maybe get back to winning ways. But then the motivation for us as well is if we beat them, they're pretty much out of the race then, aren't they? Like, so that's a motivation in itself.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's suppose there's players there that played extra time on Saturday, and I'd imagine he won't be, playing them players like the likes of Keita. You'd like to see, I would expect Wijnaldum to come back in. So there is players that can come back in there that would be a bit fresher.
Yeah. Was Wijnaldum like good to go, but he just didn't risk him?
I'd say that's what it was. Yeah.
That seemed to be the talk already that he was there if needed, but
yeah, it wasn't
didn't want to risk.
Like when you think about it, like it was against those 2 teams, they were just like fouling, non-stop. There was always a risk of injuries there, and you've seen what happened to Ox then.
Yeah, it was
so
unfortunate.
if there's a player out there like Wijnaldum who is not 100% and they know about it, they'll probably be at him. And you don't want to risk getting Wijnaldum injured as well, would you? And we're going to need him in that Leicester game, definitely, I think.
Yeah. Do you think, Gav, Leicester, they've obviously had a couple of setbacks. Was it the draw against Norwich, was it before?
Draw against Norwich, yeah.
And then the defeat.
Yeah.
So they're having a wobble. The last thing you want when you're having a wobble, I guess, is Liverpool coming into town. Do you think there's any danger of us dropping points?
There's always a danger of dropping points. Stevens' Day, Boxing Day, whatever you call it, can always throw up mad stuff.
Yeah.
I think, didn't Leicester beat City Boxing Day last season?
Could have been
2-1. I think we beat Newcastle on the same day. But I watched that, like I said, I did watch the game while I was watching Liverpool, and from what I could make out of it, I don't know whether Leicester's legs have gone or they weren't brave enough, and I can't decide which one it was, because they came out with, for me, looked like their strongest 11 probably probably. I don't think
Yeah, but they have a very set 11, don't they?
They have a set 11. They brought in Harvey Barnes. I think he might not play all the time. Yeah, is he injured after the game? Okay. But they came in with that, and I thought to me, and they had Perez there as well. They had Vardy, and then they went with Madison Tielemans and Didi, something like that. Yeah,
the usual crowd.
Looking at the game, I thought they are going to try play on the counter.
Yeah,
and they're going to try win ball around midfield and probably 1-2 passes and try to get Vardy in. Because Vardy, as good as he is and as fast as he is and at his age, he's not asked to walk for Leicester. You can see it at the weekend. He's asked to stay between the lines of the box, and he's if he runs into channels, he runs into channels. And other than that, he's not asked to track, run, shuttle, do nothing like that. And I couldn't work out what Leicester were at. Having said that, they got down the side of City 3 times so easily, and it was literally they won a ball. It was just one ball. One was from Madison, I think. 2 of them might have been from that lad Barnes, just around the corner, and Vardy was gone. He destroyed Otamendi down the right. Then he destroyed Fernandinho down the left when he scored, and I think he gets in another time down the left. But it was so, as I said last night, it was so one-dimensional, but the dimension worked for them. But Shawnee, and Keats had mentioned this last night as well, Shawnee is right in what he's saying. Give them the ball. Because as good as they are, their main goal threat is Vardy. And what Vardy is a decent poacher. Yeah. I'm not going to take that away from him. But he wants to be running off your shoulder. He wants to get into a foot race with you and then split second finishes, you know that way. I don't know whether the legs are gone. I don't know whether they weren't brave enough because City were there to be at. I know they won the game 3-1, but Leicester could have easily gone in at half time up. Easy. You know, so but you're saying about coming back and will they be buzzing, will they be not? There's no way we're approaching this game where we get off a plane and go, oh yeah, Leicester at the weekend. Well, the plans are well in advance all the time, you know. So I'd hope that I think they got back today. No, yesterday evening. I presume they're going to be rested today. Probably small session tomorrow.
Training session Christmas Eve.
Yeah, they'll probably train Christmas Day, and then they'll travel. They probably travel the night. That night, would they?
No, I'd say they'll travel on the day.
They might travel on the day.
It's only a 2-hour drive.
Yeah, but like, when you look at it, like, okay, Leicester went home. We just arrived home 12 hours after Leicester.
Yeah,
you know, I know it's wherever they were, Qatar, but it's for professional players to be come home. It's not like we turn up on the 24th and we're playing the 24th. We're playing the 26th.
Yeah,
it's 5 days later.
Yeah, the good thing is, I know we had the extra time, but basically we were playing the same time as them. So from that point of view, we've had basically the same rest. Albeit we've had a bit of sun on our backs and a morning at the beach and all that sort of stuff as well.
Hats and
all that stuff. You know what I mean?
Can't knock it, man, can you?
And a decent long haul flight. You know, where the food I'm sure was great. And
Great was supplied the food. Did you see his food last night?
No.
Did I see his food last night? Anyone see Chris's food last night?
Chicken steak and the mashed potato.
Chicken steak, right? A mashed potato and a fried egg on top of the chicken steak.
What?
Yeah, it was deadly. It was deadly. And then he claimed he paid a fortune for it. But anyway, go on.
Sorry, where was this? In London?
I don't know.
Oh my God. Right, so the interesting thing, it's really interesting that Wolves are playing City on Boxing Day, and then they come
27th.
to us. Oh, are they playing the 27th? Sorry, the 27th.
Yeah.
And then they're coming to us with a day's less rest. I think it's worked out really well in that way for us, because I think you mentioned it last night, Gav. You know, surely they're going to put their eggs in that basket against City. Put that performance in. Look to get maximise what they can, because they've got a decent recent record against City, and then they come to us, and you know you can see that fuel gauge going to empty by 60 minutes, can't you? When they're at Anfield potentially.
There's loads of talk around this, you know, resting players and all. And Rodgers made this point the other day. He said, "I'll have to rest Vardy over the Christmas. I'm going to have to." Most of the teams you'll see resting will probably be around. Might be the Boxing Day fixture. It might be the 28-29 fixture, because you've won then on the, is it New Year's Day and the 2nd?
Well, we're playing quite late. We're playing the 2nd, but most people are playing New Year's Day.
So the middle game is usually where you do your stuff on Boxing Day. Yeah. You'd go and play, rest what you can, and then go again. Yeah. And then see where you fall.
Yeah.
I think I can see a lot of teams resting players. The Wolves, when we were saying last night, I think it's fell well for us.
Brilliant.
And I think that City were going on about recovery. I don't think City are going on about recovery. I think City are going, how the fuck are they getting them after us?
Yeah.
You know, and as I said last night, if Wolves were away to City and then home to us, there's that kind of fixture, Wolves will probably go to the Etihad, play mix it up a little bit, come back. But you're always going to find teams are going to throw everything they have at their home game over that period.
Absolutely,
so let's hope it works out, and let's hope. Like, I don't know, if Wolves were to beat them, it'd be unreal, wouldn't it?
Yeah, I mean, you've seen this even in the when there was the midweek fixtures that occurred at the start of the month. There was a few little kind of odd results because those teams who aren't playing in Europe, I know Wolves are, but teams who aren't playing in Europe, they have to suffer the fact that they're playing 3 games in a week, which is unusual for them. And when they're bringing players who aren't normally part of the 11, you know, there's a drop off there, sort of thing. So it will be interesting. And obviously after that, we've got Sheffield United. Now I remember us playing Sheffield United in a block of 3 games we had earlier in the season when we went to their place, and we were saying at that point that Sheffield United would be the most difficult of the 3 games. We obviously get the win there, but look, they've got an unbelievable away record. So we were talking about the points tally over those 3 games, and I think someone said last night, Gav said 7. You could settle for 7 points. I'd almost be happy settling for 7 points, and the drop points be a home to Sheffield United, almost in a strange way. Where are you at in terms of those 3 games? What do you think is going to be the trickiest? Leicester's the obvious one, but
yeah, I don't know. I think at home, like, I'd be pretty confident whoever we play at home, we should be able to turn them over.
I just think we're due to drop some points at home.
Yeah,
do you know that way?
Against Leeds next season.
But yeah, Sheffield United are 5th, aren't they? They're like 4 points off the top 4. They've been playing pretty well, but yeah, I don't know. I can't really see us dropping points at home to Sheffield United. I'd say if we're going to drop points over those 3 games, it will be the Leicester one. Yeah, but to be honest, I kind of expect a draw in that game. But
and do you know Sheffield United got before us?
Man City away.
Isn't that mad? Isn't that absolutely? This must have been why Pep was having an absolute meltdown when he's seen how the Christmas fixtures were panning out.
They bash Sheffield United, but then again, that turns it the other way because Sheffield United probably go to the Etihad and say, "Oh, mix it up here." But then can they go to Anfield and mix it up? You know, they're going to have to pick somewhere where they play their full team.
Well, they're playing Watford at home as the first game of the 3.
Yeah, so they may do something along them lines, but I said 7 points because I can't see if you draw with Leicester and beat the other 2, I'd be confident enough no one else has taken 9 points over the period.
Not many. Generally, in those 3, you might get 1, maximum 2 teams who take the full 9 points. Yeah, and it's not always who you think are going to take the 9 points as well. It's just it's a really strange one to call. I mean, I think you know, given the lead that we've established, I don't think 7 points would be the end of the world. Gav, do you think 7 points wouldn't be the end of the world?
I'd take 7. I'd take 7.
Yeah,
but it all hinges on this week. I keep saying this weekend. It's sometime
when
this week.
When the fuck is it?
Thursday.
I'm really confused now. It's Thursday, is it?
But if we go there, and I'd say Rodgers talks a good game to them. You know, don't worry about those 2 last results. This is a great chance. Look, we were playing now, and we're back at home, and this, that, and the other. But if we get an early goal against them, we could run riot on them because they'll have to come out and play us. And I think they're susceptible as well, as much as City would be down. You know, they've decent fullbacks. Don't get me wrong, but I think the likes of Evans can be got at. Your man is good centre half, but the looks of, but he's no world beater. Like he's the best front 3 in the world.
Soyuncu.
Yeah.
I'm starting to think there's a few little mistakes creeping in.
Might be,
like, but he's not like he's starting to. I think the cracks are starting to appear in him, sort of thing.
Yeah, but I think if you draw with Leicester, you take your 7. If you beat Leicester, you want 9. Simple as that.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be surprised to see Mo getting put up against Soyuncu because he gets too tight onto the forwards, and I think if Mo can get on him and spin him, he'll destroy him. Yeah, he'll absolutely marmalade him. So
he just strikes me as someone he's come in. Not a lot of people know about him. He's got off to a flyer, but then people will start identifying certain weaknesses in his game, and he isn't top notch. Like, I don't think he's
a good player, but I think he's overperforming the expectations. You know, like they sold Harry Maguire. Fair play to them, great bit of business.
Threw him off the back of a truck. He did.
God, give them that
down
one.
the Trafford Centre.
Well, they had him there. They knew what they had. You know, they're not looking for a ball playing centre back. They're looking for a big lump that'll just get in there and make it tough. And the other players they have around, it'll do the job for them. So I think as I said, I think Mo, and the fact that Bobby got a couple of winners, we mentioned it last night, he might go into that now on a bit of form, a bit of confidence, you know, and I just think our front three will have too much of them at the back. I know they do have good full-backs, but, and I know with them being at home, they'll more of an onus on them will be to attack, but I just don't think they can overcommit.
Yeah.
I think they'll be too wary about getting pinged on the break.
Yeah.
So it could play into our hands.
Just team-wise, quickly, Barry, do you think kind of the obvious back four, goalkeeper, obvious front three, and then it's just a case of who does he pick and mix from that midfield?
Yeah, I'd say that will be the main area. I'd say, as I said earlier, Wijnaldum will go in there. Maybe Milner might come in, and Henderson then as well.
Yeah.
Possibly I'd like to see Keita in there, but just where he is with fitness, because he's played the last 3 games, hasn't he? And he played that extra time as well.
He did, yeah.
Then with the front three, I don't know, maybe there could be a shout for Origi to be put in there. Would he rest one of the 3? Maybe not with Bobby after getting those 2 goals. He probably
I think he maybe looks to do some of that rotation at Anfield against Wolves, in terms of maybe bringing Origi in for one of the front 3. What about Shaqiri, Gav? Do you think Shaqiri could get some minutes over the next?
Shaqiri's nailed on to play Sheffield United.
Do you?
Yeah, I think he...
Don't forget we have a new player in for Sheffield United.
We have, yeah.
No, we don't.
Is he not?
He can't play till the 5th. Can't play till the 5th.
He's got to play the Everton game, has he?
Yeah, he's insisted that his debut is against the Everton.
Be brilliant.
But I really want to talk about Everton so much.
We'll get there.
But yeah, I think I agree with Keith. I think that, and Barry as well, the midfield is the only place where you're going to see anything. He's definitely going Wijnaldum in the 6. There's no doubt about that. Wijnaldum apparently is okay, and if needs be, still has a bit of a niggle. That's the latest I've seen today.
Yeah.
But and then I'm wary of Keita. Well, Oxlade-Chamberlain won't play, but I am wary of them 2 playing together.
Yeah.
You could probably see something like Henderson, Milner, Keita, and he might do a little bit of a 4-2-3-1 on it.
Okay.
You know, and the only reason I'm saying that is he may look Leicester, for me, if they're given the ball, the only way they're getting near you is if they have the likes of Damari Gray running at, say, Trent. They might try to get their right back up against Robertson if they can, try isolate. Other than that, are they going to win headers in the box? No, I don't think so, not against what we have. And then, of course, on the break, if we get the right service into the lads, if we can get Firmino on the half turn, anywhere inside their half and anywhere where the game is stretched, the likes of Mane and Salah will do some serious fucking damage. But look, it could come down to we could get beaten narrowly on Thursday, and people go, "Oh, this is the start of it." It mightn't be. It might be just a case of that's another kick we probably needed.
Yeah, first goal will be crucial.
First goal, maybe. I think if we get the first one, I think it's huge on putting the emphasis on them. If they were to get the first one, I don't think it changes the game that much.
No,
you know,
place to be rocking though.
Yeah, and they'll have those happy clapper fucking things.
Yeah.
And you know, it's. But to be honest with you, like, it's one game at a time. I do take the games in blocks. I will admit that. But
I like the 3 blocks. I like the blocks
3 to 4 games. Yeah. But no, listen, you go into every game and you think Liverpool have every chance of winning it, and I'm no different for Thursday, regardless of circumstance.
So predictions, Barry?
I'm going to go for a draw, score a draw, 1-1.
Okay, interesting. Keith?
2-1 to the Reds.
2-1.
I have the same.
Gav?
Same, 2-1.
2-1.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm gonna predict. Oh, and Gav's predicting a 3-0 Leicester.
It's great when people can't speak with themselves,
Didn't
isn't it?
specify, so I just assumed it was a home.
Jamie Vardy in his fancy league.
Yeah, I'm going to go for a 3-1 Liverpool win.
Right.
Probably seal it towards the end with a bit of a breakaway goal. So 3-1. And then we'll see, like, you know, if City do happen to drop more points and that lead gets extended, we could be looking at, what, are we 11 ahead of them now?
Well, if you look at it, what are we, 10 clear and 11 with a game in hand on both?
Yeah.
Am I right? Yeah, okay. Yeah. So if you were to win those 3, you're looking at 13 ahead of Leicester, at least with a game in hand.
Yeah.
And you're looking at least 14 clear of City going into the new year. At least. Because if City win their 3 and we win our 3, we're 11 clear with a game in hand.
Yeah.
And I think we're winning our game in hand away to West Ham, because they just do what they do every year and fall asunder after, you know, calling for what's your man's name, Yarmolenko or whatever, could be given Ballon d'Or or something. I don't know what they do. They're all on drugs down there. But that's what you're looking at.
I've got an idea for the West Ham game, by the way. We just don't play and give them the 3 points.
Do you?
Yeah.
Send Critchley's army down and play.
Could you imagine saying, look, we call it a draw?
Yeah.
And the FA going, all right, grand. And then Pep going, rash on. You know what I mean? Going mad. But no, look, the way I look at it is, if you win your 3, you're definitely putting 13 plus a game in hand on Leicester.
Yeah.
Right? So that's them done. And you're definitely looking at 11 plus a game in hand. So if I was to offer you on the 2nd, after the games on the 2nd of January, that Liverpool will be 11 with the possibility of going 14 clear of City and 16 clear of Leicester, would you take it? You'd absolutely snap your hand off with it. So that's the way you have to look at it. But the January, you're looking at Tottenham away, United at home, I think. But I like them fixtures at them times. And the reason, I said it last night, Tottenham are in a space now where they've a couple of injuries, they've a suspension coming up because your man thought he could beat a fella, and then by just saying no, I didn't do it, you get away with it.
Yeah.
And
then going down and
then going down it's like a scene. Do you remember the time Marty McCutcheon got knocked down in EastEnders and Bianca was standing outside the Queen Vic and she fell to her knees. That's exactly what it was like.
Exactly what I was thinking.
Yeah, it was the exact same, man. But then you had that, and then you look at United, and United were appalling yesterday.
Oh my God.
Appalling isn't the word for them.
But this is also predictable. It's a cycle.
But it's give them the ball.
Yeah.
And what can you do? And what they're looking for is look, you can see from the lineup, they're looking for James, Martial and Rashford. They all want to get in behind you.
Yeah.
You don't want to play pretty football. You'll see them getting the ball out wide. They're standing with the ball at their feet going, what do we do now? So, but I like that. And one more bad result for Spurs or United, and they're going to have to play their squad into the fucking ground.
Yeah.
Come and draw over this. And then we come over the hill in January looking to pick them off. I like that. I'm happy with that. And then we have an easy run. Then it's fucking cruise control then.
Yeah, we've got plenty of decent home games, haven't we?
Yeah, like we're playing the Bosco 3 times, I think, between now and the end of the season.
We've got
Vandenberg into the team, and
we've got West Ham at home and Bournemouth at home.
West Ham away, Bournemouth away.
No, home. They're at home. They're like easy home games.
Villa at home.
Yeah,
you've loads of games in there that you can just. Basically, you could say you could make the last 4 games of the season, which have Arsenal, Chelsea, I think, involved in the last 4.
Yeah,
I can make them redundant. You can really write them up and go, listen, this is now a 34 game league.
Yeah,
and if we just do the business, we're the only team breaking 90 points this season anyway, so there's no panic.
Yeah, that's what we're on course for. We're on course for definitely making this a kind of a 33, 32 game season.
I think you'd be disappointed if Liverpool don't do 100 points this season.
I think Klopp has set that target to just smash 100 points, and I think the mentality of the team now, draws are paying the bollocks, because that's what killed us last year, was too many draws.
Yeah.
And last season, didn't Spurs go deep into the season with either wins and a couple of losses, no draws, but then a few of them start creeping in at the end, and what we don't want is shitty little draws to start coming in, because that'll just see.
They're damaging, because it will erode that lead, and City will start smelling blood.
Yeah.
I think the lead would probably have to get down to maybe the difference of maybe 2 wins. So I think if they got it down to 6 points, knowing that they still to play us at the Etihad, I think that'd be enough to really sort of have City sense and blood if they got it down to 6 points.
We just have to box clever for this, and just not, as we said last night as well, let Leicester have the ball. Don't, make them play. And even the City game, just don't give them a sniff.
Yeah. We haven't even trounced anyone this season, have we? Do you know what I mean, Barry? We haven't. Maybe this won't come, mate. We are waiting for the big signature 5-0, 6-0, whatever performance. Maybe it won't come. Maybe it's just a sort of a representation of who we are now, in terms of we're more solid and we kind of manage games in game, in blocks within the game, in terms of making sure that we don't concede. We're conceding 1 goal, but we're making sure we're not conceding multiple goals and stuff like that.
Yeah, I think it could be a plan from Klopp. I think it was similar last season, where we were just kind of getting, the wins, getting over the line, which is the same this season as well. So maybe, in the second part of the season, you'd hope that they really kick on and don't hold back as much and start, getting the big wins. But
we don't need big wins, by the way.
Yeah, it's like But that's what I mean. You're talking about the draws last season. They seem to have learned from that, and they're turning those draws into wins. The Villa game is an example where you're like, how are we going to get out of this one? We take a draw now, and they don't get a draw; they get a win out of it. So you can see that they've learned how to do that and to get those wins.
The Leicester game as well.
Yeah, the Leicester. Yeah. So, but yeah, no, I think Klopp does that where they're kind of just holding back a little bit. They're not going full out to beat teams well, because as you said, they don't need to. But I'd say in the second half of the season, you can expect maybe a few bigger wins, especially with those
easier stretch of games, a really nice stretch of 5 or 6 games where we can start really building a bit of momentum. Let's move away from the Reds a little bit now, because Gav's been dying to talk about other clubs, particularly the club just over Stanley Park.
Tranmere.
But look, we've got. It's interesting, isn't it? Because Carlo Ancelotti, he's given us a bit of trouble with Napoli. It's still
had actual football players.
Yeah. It's still a little bit baffling to me why the hell he would want to go there. But obviously, money talks. Gav, we those was it 3 games that Big Dunk was in charge for? Was it 4 games? I can't remember now.
It was 3 games.
3 league games.
He beat Leicester, or he beat Chelsea.
3 league games and a cup game, wasn't it?
He beat Chelsea.
He
drew United. Then he lost to Leicester on penalties, and then he drew
that was
Arsenal.
like the worst game of the season in the Premier League so far. That was against Arsenal.
I couldn't get over him. He's going around with the armband on, the wristband on, the Everton wristband, and he's going around, and it starts raining, and he takes off his jacket, and and he's like, he insists that the club get 2 extra ball boys in just for celebration.
That was
proper cop-eye behaviour, as they put it. You never see our manager do that and all. And but the funniest thing was when the game finished the other day against Arsenal.
Leicester.
No, Arsenal.
Oh, okay.
Arsenal. No, I'll get on to that. That's no, sorry, did I say the best was? No, this is the second best thing. The game finishes against Arsenal, and it's like a farewell to Dunk and a farewell to Freddie Ljungberg. Freddie Ljungberg's walking up to the Arsenal crowd with 1 win and fucking 6. Get out of there.
Absolutely dreadful.
Get out of there quick. You know what I mean? But stop putting yourself through that.
Yeah.
So he heads off, and they're doing. The Dunk gets on the pitch, and the draw happens. The final whistle goes, and he turns to the main stand, and he's giving the 2 fists up and all. I like he'd won the game, and I thought to myself, they win that. And I was like, no, he fucking did. What's he doing? So he goes on the pitch then, and he's walking around, he does a lap of honour, and he's giving it the big one to the Gladys Street end and the whole lot, and then he comes back and someone interviews him on BT, I think it was on, wasn't it?
It was on BT, yeah.
So they interview him on BT, and then he's walking back, and the place is empty, and Ancelotti's in his car on the way home, and all. Actually, the minute the fucking board went up, Ancelotti was gone, but he's giving it the big one to and I look, and all you can see behind him is just an empty stadium, and he's still giving the lows, and I thought, fucking hell, if Klopp done that, the Everton fans would go rasher. But they've got Ancelotti, as I said before, he spent more than 2 years at one club in his whole career. That was Milan between 2001 and 2009, and that's when Milan was at the peak of their power. And when it started to wane, he disappeared. He since then he's been at Chelsea. He's a really good Chelsea side, but they were massive competitors at the time. He's had Bayern Munich, he's had PSG first, I think, Real Madrid. Then he goes from Real Madrid to Bayern. Then he goes from Bayern to Napoli. All teams that are in the top 1 or 2 teams in the league with probably the most money.
Perennial Champions League.
Yeah, but well, if you look at it, Chelsea had the most money. Bayern had the most money in Germany. Real Madrid, you could argue, had the most money. Napoli probably the second most by the time he got there because of their success over the previous years. Now he's gone into a team that, let's be honest, are to be, I suppose, generous to them. They're mid-table.
They're mid-table.
And he's going in there. Now, unless Mashiri has offered them a crazy amount of money, but
they've already spent so much money.
This is the problem. You have players there now that are probably on between 80 and 100 grand a week.
Yeah.
And they aren't want a pot of piss. They aren't want anything. And they're going to try they have to get rid of them before they bring the rest in, because if you don't, what happens? You just have a massive squad just leaking money everywhere. I don't see the sense behind it. I'll give him, I think Christmas 2021 at the latest, and he's walking out there with a nice big load of cash, because you have to remember, they're going to spend all this money, and then what happens when the stadium does actually start putting spades in the sea? to get it done. You know what I mean? When you start dredging out them foundations and just letting Ireland know that it's not an earthquake, they're just drilling. What happens then? Because you've seen it with all these people that I'm putting to this.
The money dries up.
How much is the cost of this stadium?
For $500 million. Yeah.
They submitted it today, didn't they? The application.
So if it's $500 million, you're probably looking at somewhere around 800 million because it always goes over.
Done that, didn't they?
Spurs paid an extra 400 million.
$500 million.
So
to $1 billion.
Where does this money come from then?
Yeah.
You know, to me it just seems they're trying to make a big splash.
They're desperate. They're trying, they're trying, I guess, prove to the fans by bringing a name like that in that they do actually mean business, sort of thing. I guess for them it was, it was now or never in terms of getting a name like that, because obviously that all links with, the likes of Simeone and Mourinho and all this kind of pie in the sky stuff. So Barry, do you think the Arteta to Arsenal's got more chance of success? Because even that, in a different type of way, seems like a bit of a stretch.
Yeah, that's definitely a gamble because he has no real experience, does he? So, but I don't know. I think if I was an Everton fan, I'd rather have Arteta going in there than Ancelotti, just because he can, he could probably be there more long term. He can, build something for the club. But yeah, I think he is a gamble, Arteta. Like, I don't think he's really. I was reading something there. He doesn't really take the training sessions for Man City.
Okay.
So yeah, it's good. It's definitely going to be a gamble for Arsenal, but we'll see how it pans out. But Ancelotti obviously has more experience. But yeah, it's kind of hard to say what way they're going to go, really.
Yeah. Which was the most comical then, Keith, over the weekend? The Tottenham capitulation against Chelsea or the United shit show?
It was a good day, wasn't it? It was a good day. So much, yeah. Like, where do you start? We start with United. Yeah. They're good. I like them, right? So you've got the best goalie in the world. Yeah. He's letting one through his hands, his arms. To hit him in the face.
Into the face, yeah.
Spin into the goal. Like, how that fella has regressed is just...
It's amazing, isn't it?
And it happens with a keeper. And I think one thing about Alisson is when Alisson makes a balls or something, he brushes it off. Like we saw years ago when Dudek dropped the bollock against fucking Forlan, and he never really recovered from that. A keeper gets...
He hadn't got a team to help him recover.
Yeah.
That's the thing.
But I think when they start making mistakes, it gets into them, because it's such a, mentally, it's a tough position to play. And when you're at the top and a mistake creeps in like that, it's in their head. He's made 6 errors that led the goals this season, the most in the league with Bernd Leno. You wouldn't have thought, 2-3 years ago, you'd be saying, not a chance he's making 6 errors to let them in.
Even as recent as the season where they, was it not last season, the season before, where they come second in the league, he gains them so many points in that season.
But you see, when you look at a goalkeeper like that, like you're saying, Alisson brushes that off. Alisson brushes that off because one, he knows he's, shit happens, right? Second thing is he's confident, and he has confidence in the team in front of him that I've made a mistake, they'll dig me out. If they fuck up today and they only score 1 when they should score 4, I'll dig them out if the other team gets a chance, right? De Gea was always like that. And De Gea reminds me of somebody that he reminds me of the De Gea that turned up at United whatever amount of years ago it was. It's probably nearly 10 years ago now, was it? Right, yeah, and he was a little bit fragile and you could get in on top of him, and I always remember one game in particular. It was actually against Spurs at White Hart Lane, and it was Ferdinand and Vidge were defenders, and he kept dropping and dropping and dropping to the point where I think he's out-muscled in the air and a goal goes in. And they're giving them loads of stick, and I'm kind of going, well, the centre-halves aren't helping them there. They should be pushing that team out and saying, no, let's protect them. But now he looks like a goalkeeper to me that it's in his head all the time. If I make a mistake here, these fucking idiots aren't going to do anything to help me. That's the only blunt way I can put it.
The 80 million quid
if I make what he is a bleeding clown, that fella. And then the other fella on the right that's meant to be better than Cafu just slides around the fucking pitch like some of ISS Pro he is.
Yeah, he is. Yeah.
But what I'm saying is, he knows you can see by his demeanour, he knows any little mistake I make here, the chances of us recovering from it are slim and fuck all. And that's what's wrong with David De Gea. I promise you this, if you put David De Gea in the Liverpool's team tomorrow, he will come out and see that, he'll be just catching that with one hand and going, here man, and be flinging her up the pitch. It's all in his head.
He hasn't been the same since he made them 2 Wombles pre-World Cup for Spain. He had 2 friendlies in the World Cup and he made 2 wobblers, and he has not
And
been
then the one in the World Cup itself,
and he
against
hasn't been
Portugal.
the same keeper since, and he's got 2 major contracts since that as well.
Yeah.
In a failing Man United side.
Yeah, but he's still that great hope.
He's had them over a barrel, really, psychologically.
Let's be honest about it. He makes a bad mistake there the other day, but let's be honest about it. If you go back through the games, I'm sure there's games this season, where if he isn't in goal, they've lost more than they've actually lost now at this moment.
Oh, he has made good saves.
He's still their biggest hope.
Yeah.
Like people going around going, Pogba is back. Give me a fucking break, will you? He come on the pitch the other day, right? And this is how bad they want him to succeed, and this is the truth. He come on the pitch the other day. I don't know who was covering that game. Was it Sky?
Sky were
covering it. So Pogba comes on the pitch, right? And the first thing he comes on is gloves on him and a short sleeve top. And I'm kind of going, what's the fucking point in that, right?
Yeah.
The second thing is, right, he comes on, someone gets the ball down the left wing, and I swear to God he ran 25 yards. Just ran beyond your man 25 yards. And the commentator's words were, here comes Pogba driving United forward. This is what they need. The ball was played to him, he turned around, he threw a few shapes and he passed it back in the middle of midfield, and I thought, well, if that's him driving them forward, they're in much worse fucking nick than I thought. De Gea is their main player and always will be their main player while he's there. And with him being that fragile, they're in serious trouble. You have one full back that just slides around the pitch. I don't know what the fuck he's doing. You've another one. I like Luke Shaw as a footballer. I think he's actually a good footballer. He's just not dependable enough. Harry Maguire,
he's grossly overweight.
No, you wouldn't. No, but Harry Maguire, Lindelof don't do anything for you. McTominay will work hard. Fred will run around a bit. James is young, good player, young. Rashford I'd have at Liverpool tomorrow, and the same with Martial. I'd have them both.
And they're
Liverpool.
starting to lean on Greenwood as well, saving
and
them as well, aren't they?
The first thing he goes to on the bench the other day, and I said it in the WhatsApp group, United's great hope for fucking recovering games now with some 18-year-old lad who, by the looks of it, is a really good player.
Yeah.
But you can't drop that on. It's all right if you're doing really well and you drop him into a team and you say, here, go and get yourself 4 or 5 goals before the end of the season.
Yeah.
But when you're saying to him, we're fucked, come here, you. Get on there and do something. That's not the right way to do it.
It's like us throwing Neil Mellor on in Cinema Pongo, like the parallels.
And what
between...
happened to us? We ended up throwing them over about 2 years. We never recovered. We never done anything. They're a mess. And the likes of wins against City and Spurs only they're not even papering cracks at this stage.
But then you had Solskjaer leading them to applaud the crowd and all, and the faces on them, they all look like death.
But there wasn't many left, was there?
No.
And United fans, in fairness to them, are quite loyal when it comes to their team. You do expect them to have. They're there at the end and they'll back you all the way. But that, for me, looking at 89, 90 minutes and 4 minutes injury time, and you could see half their away end were gone, that's a huge thing for me.
They do have a great away support.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. They usually at this time of Christmas are extremely irritating with all the little Christmas songs and the Cantona song that they always come out with. I'd say they're losing all hope.
Did you hear what they were singing? Did you hear they were singing something about winning the World Club Cup twice?
Oh, really?
For the opening minutes of the game the other day.
Okay.
Yeah. That's their issue at the
That
minute.
was their issue,
He
was
has
it?
to
Yeah.
be getting the bullet soon, though, Solskjaer, doesn't he?
Do you think so, though? I think he might make the season out. I think Pochettino, it wouldn't surprise me if they had Pochettino there waiting in the wings in the summer.
Apparently it's 12 million to pay for him if you want him.
Yeah.
There's
But they'll
something
get
there.
to a stage where they'll just give him the 12 million and say, here, pay him off.
I don't know.
And fucking you get in here.
I don't think that, realistically, they're not going to.
They're not going to be top 4.
No, they're not. Even if they bring Pochettino in, I think it's still a long shot for them.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think they'll try and not, be bastards around Solskjaer sort of thing. I think he'll
It's very hard now though, because they gave him a 3-year deal. You see, they brought him in and it was a real romantic thing and the whole lot. But now they've given him a 3-year deal, and now you're saying to fans, we've given him a 3-year deal. Isn't this great? And everyone thought he was great, and now it's not going well. And they're going to, Solskjaer get a nice few quid out of it, but that's not what he wants. And I still think it's probably very evenly split, would you say, between the United fan base as to who wants him and who doesn't.
Yeah, which is great, really, isn't it?
It's a hard thing to do. It reminds me a bit of the time Houllier at Liverpool, the season before he went, there was a split at Anfield. I was at Anfield a couple of times that season, and you could see it, half the team.
But again, it means, at the end of the day, it means turning on what they regard as a club legend, the fella who scored in a Champions League final for them, and that's a hard thing to do, to turn on a. Now, obviously, like everything in everything we do, some people will be a bit harder in certain situations than others, but there's definitely a split there.
They may have an issue on their hands with their supposed first choice at the end of the season if Pep goes as well.
Yeah,
because
true.
You can see City wanting someone like Poch in there as well.
Yeah,
And
potentially.
Bayern Munich could be looking at that as well. Like, there's big jobs out there. Like,
there's definitely something in Pochettino. There's enough jobs have come up over and enough possible jobs being available in the last whatever it is since he left that he will.
Clubs will pay that. Clubs will pay that 12 million.
Yeah, there has to be something in there where he said, "No, I'm walking away for 6 months." Yeah. He might have something where they've given him extra money and he can't go touch a job because 12 million is pittance. There might be something there where he's going, "Listen, we're relieving you of your duties, but like it's a bit like that clause that you have: you aren't allowed to talk to anyone and you're not allowed to give any secrets away and stuff like that." But there might be something there where Dave said to him, "Look, we're paying your contract up to the end of the season.
Yeah.
Rather than a payoff, we're paying your contract. You're still employed by Spurs at the end of the season, and then you get a lump sum." It could be something like it has to be, because Bayern are giving some fella to the end of the season, aren't they?
Yeah.
Solskjaer's in a jocker. You know what I mean? Emery went at Arsenal.
Yeah.
There's plenty of Napoli. There was plenty.
Yeah,
There was
the
plenty
Spanish
there.
teams, Real and Barca have laid in dirt as well. You know what I mean?
Yeah, there's loads of opportunity
Jobs
there.
out
There has to be something written in there.
Yeah.
You know?
And then we seen the bubble, I think, explode at White Hart Lane. Oh, not White Hart Lane.
Yeah, it's White Hart Lane.
White Hart Lane. At the new White Hart Lane. We've seen it explode there, not burst, but explode. And between Son doing what he did and
The goalkeeper.
And the goalkeeper. I mean, the Son thing was completely eclipsed by the goalkeeper.
Oh, my God.
I mean, I've never, ever seen anything like it. I mean... It was, and for the decision to go the other way initially, I mean, Anthony Taylor.
He's right beside it.
Yeah.
And what drugs is he on?
What did he think?
And you know what the great thing was? Did you see Sky talking about it? So your man in the studio, the guy that got into trouble for telling
Davy Jones.
Yeah, he says, Graham. He says to Souness, Graham, what do you think of that now? And literally Souness just went, I can't help you with this. I can't give you a reason for this. Why doesn't he just use his hands?
Yeah.
He runs past the ball with his hands and jumps in the air and tries to ninja kick the man. And then the ref goes, free out.
Yeah.
You've clearly headed him in the foot.
It shows the state of the refereeing in England as well, doesn't it? Like Anthony Taylor. Wasn't Anthony Taylor was the ref there?
Yeah.
Like, he is absolutely shy, and he's classed as one of the good ones.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, it's fucking bizarre. How you could look at that and say, for all that we said about the World Club Cup and the shitty decision we got and the VAR on that, your man looked like he just bottled, gave the pen on.
Yeah, the situation, I think, in our
game.
Yeah.
Whereas Taylor looks at that and he's free out.
Yeah, like proper genuine decision he thinks he's making there.
What's he looking at?
But the guys, if the keeper come out, right, and I was trying to make sense of this in my own head, right, and I genuinely thought, you've drank too much in the last couple of days. You're clearly not seeing this right. Yeah. If he comes out and he's low, say, to the ground, and the ball goes back past, where it came from, and you see Alonso hit the keeper, you go, it's a free out, innit? Because he's kicked it, and your man slammed into him. The ball goes out for the fucking goal. It goes behind the goal.
Yeah.
So the keeper, there's no way the keeper's touched it.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I just couldn't get my head around it. And then to give the free out, and I'm standing there going, surely VAR does something here.
Yeah.
It has to.
Yeah.
And it gives the penalty in the end. But
at least, I suppose, Barry, the only good thing about it is at least it shows VAR. I mean, imagine VAR wasn't there.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? How farcical that would have been?
Got away with that one, yeah. It's the same with the Sun red card as well. Like it was obviously useful yesterday, VAR in that game.
Yeah.
And that's an example of it being pretty good. But yeah, if the VAR wasn't there and he had got away with that one, it would have been crazy. Like, if
he was refereeing in any game in English League football this week after that decision, if VAR wasn't involved, you might as well give it up. You know what I mean? Because I don't know how your eyes deceive you that much.
The ball was 6 feet
in the fucking air. It wasn't like he was looking around. The ball is literally head height when it goes past him. And I can see his feet up this high in the air, and he's clattering your man. No, I've no problem with clattering your man Alonso because he's a bit of a prick. But having said that, I just couldn't get my head around. And then Son does what he does, and falls to the ground.
They've
and
appealed that today.
you know,
Have they?
Yeah.
you can't appeal that.
No, that's not. He's got no chance.
Give him an extra
game, yeah.
They give a free. He gives a throw into Spurs. I think is the actual decision he gives after.
Yeah.
And he's lying on the ground, his feet go in the air. Rudiger's just doing what he's doing.
Rudiger, I
You
think,
can
it
see-
gave him a bit of a dig in the ribs,
Yeah,
and he reacts
on the
to
way.
it.
Yeah, but to be honest, look, so what?
Back again.
He throws both his feet studs up straight up into your man's chest. It's a stone wall red card.
Yeah.
And is it 3 games?
3, yeah.
Violent conduct,
Violent
3
conduct,
games,
yeah. 3 games.
So he'll miss the 3 games over the Christmas.
Yeah, basically, you're not seeing him until the FA Cup game now. That's it. 3 league games gone.
And then there was video then of Josie in the tunnel giving high fives to people and handshakes.
That wasn't that game, though.
Oh, wasn't it?
No.
Fuck it.
That wasn't that game, no. If you look closely, it wasn't that game.
Right.
It was the game against Olympiacos.
Because I seen footage today and I was like,
Yeah.
is he gone? But I was actually thinking to myself, I'd love to see that roll on a bit more because he probably just does handshake him, you know. But Chelsea were brilliant. Your man William was outstanding yesterday as well. I thought he was
Yeah.
The goal is
Yeah.
It wasn't. There was a bit of skill he done in the second half where it's lashed down the wing of him. He kills it dead. One touch out of his foot and he bends one into. I think it's Batshuayi gets through on goal.
Yeah.
he was outstanding yesterday.
He usually does, for the last 3 seasons he does this around this time because the window's going to open and he always gets in the Barca, doesn't he?
Yeah.
So there you go.
He's on a free in the summer.
Yeah.
Okay,
Is he, yeah?
Yeah. Yeah.
I'd say
So he's going to
Bigonzo.
China.
Yeah, or to
Aye,
Spurs to Mourinho because he's always trying to get him, you know. So
Yeah. Yeah, it was a big bounce. I mean, it was a big bounce back from Chelsea. They'd fallen off a bit of a cliff themselves, and I'd say, I don't know, I would imagine Tottenham were favourites going into that game.
I was amazed how tactically Chelsea outdone Spurs.
Yeah.
yesterday. And I think Mourinho might be managing against his own instinct. You know, going that kind of far up front and getting lad. Whereas I think his instinct would be to go, I'm putting
up
Kane
front.
up there and I'm putting 2 fellas that'll run. Like it won't surprise me if he goes and looks for your man Perisic of whoever he's with now.
Matic.
You know, and really starts nailing down that side. He seems to be managing against his own instincts. But
He's with Bayern now, is he?
yeah, I
he's on
think he
loan
is.
there
But
at Bayern.
Mourinho tried to sign about 8 times, I think. So we'll have to wait and see. But
Do you think he'll make some signings in the window? Yeah, he's not going to.
I can see him.
I don't think he'd have took that job if he wasn't guaranteed a few shekels
Something
buy
to
someone.
spend
Yeah,
in
it's his
January.
nature. He's not like Klopp in that he'll coach what's there and coach them up. You know, it's like, right, he's looking at that. You're looking at that squad, and you're like, Harry Winks, 5'8" or whatever. You can fuck off for the start. You're now stand against that wall, and whoever's over this 6'2" line, I'll move over there, take a yellow baby, use that, and all you little fuckers over there fill them water bottles. Like, that's the Mourinho way. It's
I can see him. I can see. Yeah, I can see him making a workhorse out of Valley.
yeah.
I can see him doing the same with Son and playing Kane up front, and in his midfield 3 he'll end up with a proper Matic style player and 2 other workhorses beside him. So you know, you mightn't. You know, I think doesn't he whip your man off at half time?
Dyer
Yeah, he
puts
him on.
Eriksen on, doesn't he?
Yeah, and I think I think he's just trying to work with what he has there, and the only thing he really has is attackers at the moment. I think it'll be changes there. So, but look, let them all do what they're fucking doing.
Yeah,
you know,
yeah.
if they can all lose every weekend,
This is the great thing that's coinciding with our rise to the top here is how much carnage is in amongst the likes of Spurs, Chelsea to a lesser extent, Arsenal, United. It's like it is. It's like the icing on the cake, really, isn't it? Sort of thing.
Yeah.
That you have to watch these other teams sit and suffer in the same way that we have for absolutely years.
I have a question for you before we go.
Yeah.
We're halfway through, more or less. Yeah, give or take a game.
When is the halfway point after Leicester? Is it?
It should be.
It
but
should
won't
be
for
because
us.
of the game in hand. Yeah.
So Leicester
That will be, will it?
No, we'll have.
We would have. Yeah. We would.
Who do you think goes down, and who do you think gets top 4?
Who goes down? Do you know who I really want to go down now?
Everton.
No, I'm less bothered about
City.
Everton. I want Villa to go down after their fucking, the way they reacted against some of their players against us, beating the kids 5-0. there's something I'm not like. Yeah, so I think have they just got dragged into the bottom three? Yeah,
they're in the bottom three.
So I think they're vulnerable. So I'm thinking. I said this a few weeks ago. I think Southampton have enough, and they've started putting points on the board.
Watford, Norwich, Villa are the current bottom three, and they have 3 points to Southampton.
I think Watford might survive. You know,
can happen.
I think Watford might survive. I think Norwich are probably the biggest banker to go down. Yeah. I'd say Norwich, Villa, and I think Bournemouth have got to be careful.
Crystal Palace on?
Are they 23?
He'll always do enough.
He's 8 points off the drop.
West Ham
might get dragged into it.
Have the flip flops on, and I'm not
West
playing
Ham
for
are
him
16th.
They're not playing for him anymore.
Yeah. That game in hand doesn't help them because it's against us.
Yeah. And the current top four. You know who the top four are, but it's 4 points from Chelsea to Sheffield United, and then Wolves, and then they're 6 points clear of Spurs, or 7 points clear of United. And Newcastle, and 8 points.
I think Chelsea.
I think Chelsea. Anyone else think the current top four don't make?
Is set.
I fancied Spurs. Yeah, I fancied with Marino, but after that result at the weekend, that's after leaving them a bit adrift there.
Yeah,
they'll run through all the shit teams in the league. But Mourinho, I said this on another pod, like when he plays against Big Six, top four competitions.
I hope it was ours.
One of ours, yeah.
Oh, good.
What do you think of the league? No, I said it.
Have
a look at that contract, is it?
You
don't tell Pete Smith that.
The only contract we have is you bring cans.
But no, when he plays against other top teams, not that he shits himself, but he reverts to this negative defensive type of. He doesn't attack the big teams, but I think he'll run through all them small cheaty teams, and so I think Spurs could be the threat to get into that top four. I think Leicester could fall away.
It's possible, isn't it?
It could.
Joe Walsh is covering his ears now. He's got the big price on them finishing top four.
They're probably about 18 points clear of fifth, Eddie.
I don't know.
Well, we're 20 points clear of fourth.
Yeah.
Let's have a little look. Go on, Carrie. Why do you think? Do you think it's more to do with the squad size that they might?
11.
Yeah, I think it's the quality 11. As well. You know, I think I said Leicester have had a nice run to get them where they are, and you can only play what's in front of you. You know, you play the fixtures that you're given, and you get yourself in a position, and then you'll get a bit of momentum, and that'll carry you so far. But I just think if we beat Leicester when we beat Leicester on whatever day that is,
Thursday.
That, as you said earlier, that's a draw with Norwich, defeat the City, and if we get a win against them, that's after knocking them.
Yeah,
you know, and
then they have to go to West Ham. That could go either way. Game. And then they have to go to
what we said a minute ago.
And then they have to go to Newcastle.
And they're very erratic now.
Yeah, I know.
They're 1 week they're shite, the next week they're great.
Yeah. But they're still accumulating at a better rate of points than Rafa, aren't they?
Fine. I think the fourth place might be up for grabs. I think there are 3 are done.
Yeah.
I think there's enough in there definitely us and definitely City, and I think Leicester will come third.
Yeah.
Not about it.
Where do you think the likes of Arsenal end up finishing the season?
God only knows.
Because that could go either way.
Yeah, but Arteta's in training today showing them how to kick a ball. So it's, it could go anywhere.
It could though, couldn't it? Yeah. They could be a bottom half side come the end of the season if it goes badly wrong.
Listen, I know we've all to go home and all, but I just can't believe if Arteta wasn't watching Leicester against Everton from Goodison.
Yeah.
I can't believe he just didn't plumb for the Everton job simply based on the songs. The songs.
Everton,
lads.
Everton.
One for all for one.
I was talking about this earlier. It was amazing. Have you seen it?
Oh, it was brilliant, yeah.
So it was on beIN Sports, wasn't it?
beIN Sports. No adverts.
No adverts, just straight camera.
Waiting for the penalty shootout.
And the songs that come on. And I was looking at, it was like the Peaky Blinders soundtrack.
Yeah,
that's all I could think of. It was like, we won. Oh no, it was like, we run for the cup, and we run for the league. Everton. And I was like, what the fuck is going on here? And then, do you know what made it even better? People were joining in.
Of course they were, yeah.
Everton, and you could hear them stamping on the wooden stairs and all.
Yeah, exactly. In the Bullens,
yeah.
I'd say that wooden stand was just like,
rocking.
Yeah.
The old lady was rocking again. But amazing songs, and they should be. To be honest with you, if it comes down, do you know, like at the end of the season, if there's like, how do I put it? you know, like it's usually goals difference and goals scored. And all. It should be half-time songs.
Yeah.
And everything should be kept up just on that basis.
Yeah.
Because it was absolutely, truly amazing.
Well, hold on, we have to hear the other team songs.
No,
first.
you're not beating
You're not beating those.
It was like,
No.
we run for the lead, we run for the cup, one for all, and all for all.
Those sound deplorable.
It was brilliant. It was absolutely,
Yeah.
I'm going to look them up later.
Yeah, honestly.
Spotify. Everyone must have a Spotify playlist.
Quite possibly, yeah.
Goodison playlist.
Yeah.
I'll send them to you. They're unbelievable.
Yeah.
Big Dunk has a playlist.
Yeah. Zed Paris twice.
There'll be a DVD of him.
Yeah. Look, we could go on all night, but Christmas is just around the corner and we've got things to do and we got last minute shopping to do tomorrow. So, are you all sorted, Gav, or are you all done? Keith?
Getting there. I'll start tomorrow, see how I go.
Okay. Barry, you all done?
I haven't even started. I'm doing it
No.
tomorrow.
Oh, fair play. I was out today and there was some mad scenes in Blanchardstown today. 16 trolleys at each checkout waiting to... Col was in there for an hour.
That was Carl.
And what about you, Guy? Are you all done? Done and dusted.
Carl's big shop was 18 quid.
Was it, yeah?
It didn't look like there was anything in the trolley. I thought he was buying the trolley.
No,
He's working Christmas Day, isn't he?
Big shop.
Yeah.
18 quid.
Wow.
Just a load of potatoes it was.
So anyway, look, Merry Christmas to everyone. Join us when we're back next. I don't know if what is next Monday?
Next Monday is the
It's a
40th.
working day, isn't it? Yeah. So I suppose we'll be back recording again. You'll be doing the occasional
Fatback 4 hours.
Yeah. When are you? What's your kind of schedule?
26th, 29th, 2nd.
Okay.
And then we're back into a normal.
So you're doing what? Just post game stuff, is it?
Stuff, yeah.
Okay.
Like,
no
yeah,
pre-game.
like,
No pre-game now.
Or during game.
You've done your previews with the lads, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay, fair enough.
Yep.
Good stuff. Right. As said, Merry Christmas, everyone, and we will be back with you next week.